What's going on, Blair the Car Guys? Here with England's own Darren Stephenson. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
All right. I'm glad you came all the way down here from the UK to play at our nice little Origins YCS. What'd you end up doing?
I ended up playing VA Monarchs, and I did top 16 again for the third time. I can't get past top 16 to save my life.
Oh yeah. No, we know how it is. So, what made you play this version of Monarchs or this version of VA, however you want to look at it?
Sometimes I call Monarch the mirror because the idea was to make Monarchs as consistently as possible, because Monarch's the best deck because it's the most powerful deck. But then you've got BA, which is a really consistent deck, which can like beat nearly every single matchup. So the idea was to try and play BA monsters. So yeah, it acted as your tribute fodder, and it could also summon Beatrice, which taps into your engine, and then also. Aether and Erebus can provide so many power players, especially when you play Monarch, because Stormforth hits Monarch as well. So I thought the two together work really well together. It's insane.
Nice. So let's get right into it. Let's see what you played.
So I played 3 Aether. I think it's pretty obvious why you would play 3 of this card. It's a hand trap. It disrupts it on your opponent's turn. It's searchable with return, and it sets up your players by putting your prime and your Pampiers them in grid. I played two Erebus. We initially played 3. This is a deck list that me and my friend Daniel Jackson worked on. Shout out to him, my testing partner back in the UK. So we initially were playing 3 of this card, but we noticed one of the problems with Monarchs is if you draw multiples of these, you've bricked and you don't really have a play. But with Beatrice, you can send this to grave, and then or one of these to grave, and if this is in grave, if you have a spell in hand, you have access to all of these. So I thought it was absolutely fine just playing 2. And the third doesn't really come up because, like I say, you can recycle it when it's in grave, and you're less likely to brick if you play 5.
Nice.
Here's one Kuraz. Another card which was quite a debate with Daniel back home. He suggested only playing 1. I was a bit dubious at it at first. I really wanted to play 2 because I thought drawing the 1 would be a bit of a nightmare, because these 2 can like really disrupt your opponent's plays, and it can turn off return, which can be a problem since we're playing Abundant Abyss as well. But he made the point that if we've established a Beatrice, then we've got a Monarch on board, because the reason you play this is to pop your Monarch when they Stormforth, so they can't Stormforth off your Monarch. But if you've got a Beatrice on board, they're going to want to get rid of the Beatrice, so like this doesn't come up as much as you think. So that's why we only played 1. We basically played this card just to turn off our returns and domains, so we can make our BA plays.
Nice.
1 Dark Hound.
Oh Lord.
Happy Father's Day. So I played this card. I wasn't sure on it at first because of the point of this deck was to get it as consistent as possible, and this isn't really a card that helps with the consistency. However, the card can be absolutely ridiculous. You can manipulate your graveyard with Erebus by adding it back. We'll play Barbar as well, so you can manipulate your graveyard like that. It's searchable off Tenacity. Not the Tenacity return, and with Tenacity in hand, the stats are 2, 8, and 1000, so you can reveal this and search off Tenacity. So it actually works quite well with the deck. Sometimes you can brick with it, but when you're in a grind, especially in the mirror match, if you're in a grind in the mirror match, you need something that can just blow out your opponent. And when I played the mirror match today, this really showed why I'm playing it. It really did shine in the matchups where it was really grindy. He had a board of 5. And my only play was Dark Armed, so one thing that's really cool with Dark Armed is you can, if you have a hand of BAs, you can keep fueling them, so you pop with the 3 engrave, your special BA dies because it can't survive with Dark Armed on board, and you just keep popping and popping. So I ended up popping his whole board and then just attacking him for game. It was crazy. Now the BA engine, 1 tour guide, 1 graph, 2 seer. Don't need to explain these. 3 scum. These are like obviously the main big boys that you would play. So Lupia, Dante's, etc. That tap into your engine with scum as well. 3 Farther. Since we're playing this is like one of the best BAs other than these guys, because with Beatrice you can just disrupt their entire plays, and it helps with annoying stuff like flying C as well. And if you're playing the BA, if you've already established a Beatrice, their win condition is to establish a Beatrice, and you just stop that with a Farfa, and then you're in prime position.
Nice.
2 Alec. I only played 2 Alec, even though this card can be really important against certain matchups and negate monster effects. We only played 2 because another way you can brick with this deck is if because opening a handful of BA monsters is absolutely incredible, because you can just make Beatrice and access this, because you don't want to draw multiples of this. But drawing a handful of BA monsters with different names is insane. However, drawing multiples of the same name can be an absolute nightmare. It really limits your plays, and it really can brick your hands, which is not what we want, because what we're trying to achieve is to make the deck as consistent as possible. So I had to be really careful as to what ratio we played, and we think 2 was a fair number, because instead of playing the 3rd Alec, we wanted to play the second Barbar. So we played 2 Barbar. Again, it's just like a bit of a cheese whenever you playing matchups like Cosmo, whenever you push for damage and then you just play the damage game. You don't really care at all whenever you play Cosmo. Cosmo's just so ridiculous because they practically do the work for you. So they kill themselves and then you just, alright, I'll just Barbar you. And it can be annoying when they banish Barbar, because this can be a win condition in a sense when you're playing Cosmo. If you've got 2, it just puts them under a lot of pressure and they find it really difficult to cope. And the one-off guys, I play Calcab, Libic and Dragig. Dragig really is just another name. Libic can help you push for damage and or gain, and Calcab is to deal with back row, which did come up often. It did help, but for the most part these are just another name and help us not brick by drawing multiple names. So that's all the monsters. Alright. Spells. 3 Tenacity. We tried to. I think we felt like we needed to max out on most of the Monarch spells, because since you're making Dante and Mill in your deck, you can absolutely like burn through your resources really quickly. So unfortunately, we felt like we needed to max out on a lot of these cards, because you can just mill it away and then you won't be able to access your deck. So we played a free Tenacity. A 3 Prime. This card is ridiculous. Not Prime Pantheism. This card is ridiculous when you're playing BA monsters, because it gives BA like a draw engine, which also sets up like a Prime engrave if you open a Prime, which can be a bit ridiculous. It's just crazy drawing 2 and dumping your Monarch, because you can, like I say, you can brick with these Monarch spells, especially cards like Return, drawing these multiples. But if you ditch these and then you can replace them with 2 BA monsters, and then your players are live and you can just go ham, and then you can get a search of this if you draw a Monarch and just search over cards like this. Return, we felt like we needed to play free because we felt like we needed. We liked it to be reliable to search for Pantheism, and it can be a bit of annoying if it's stuck on board when you're trying to go for your BA plays. But it's really important to get access to your Monarch engine, because it gives you the edge when you're playing Burning Abyss, and it gives you the edge when you're playing other matchups, because Erebus and Aether can just disrupt so many different decks.
Gotcha.
We're maxed out on Stoneforth as well. Again, in the mirror match, when I've got a Monarch, this can absolutely smash them. It deals with Beatrice, deals with other annoying little pesky cards as well, like Dark Destroyer, I guess, even though you don't really need to deal with Dark Destroyer, just keep it burning them for damage, because they're practically killing themselves. We just play 1 Domain. We like Domain because you can make Beatrice with Domain, which is pretty cool, which lets you go straight into your engine. Like you can use this to summon an Aether and then get Kuraz, and you can just pop your Domain so you're not locked under it. So you can special base, and then you can make Beatrice. I didn't really do that at all today, but it's still a really good option. But you don't really need to play in multiples as far as I'm concerned. And plus, like I think I'd rather play Burning Abyss monster than Domain, so to keep your deck consistent. And there was no other card in the deck I would drop to play an extra Domain. 1 Foolish Burial, one of the best one-offs in this deck. What this can achieve is get into your BA monsters, of course. Can get you your Sir, especially a Dante, then you can make a Beerus if you have another BA in hand. You can disrupt back row with Calcab, it can banish with Farfar, and then with the Monarch engine, it can get your Erebus Engrave, and then you can add it back when you have a spell in hand. So it's just an insane card. And then for the traps, I just played 2 Prime. I did want to play 3. Because I noticed when we were playing against regular Monarchs with Brilliant Fusion, we were like burning through our resources really quickly, and I thought we could use the third to recycle our engine. But we dropped the third Prime and the second Kurad to more BA monsters, and like the BA engine just makes this deck ridiculous. And we think we want to kill our opponent as fast as possible, so we felt like when we were wanting to not get to that stage where we need to recycle our resources, and plus we can just keep on looping our Dantes and Sirs, and just keep with our Beatrice plays. And so we only played 2 because just for our that's the main deck.
Is that 40 in the main?
Yeah, 40. Well, we didn't play Upstart because we were playing Upstart. We dropped the second Erebus and Upstart and a Kuraz and the third Prime for more BA monsters, because we felt like if you just open, like I say, if you open a hand of BA monsters, then making Beatrice is like the best thing you can do with the deck. Gotcha. You go way ahead if you can make a Beatrice.
Right. And side an extra. And
this is the extra, so we played 2 Pilgrim. We were initially playing 1, but the second one did come up a lot, especially when you play Monarch, because then you can crash your Beatrice. You can crash your Beatrice to make a Pilgrim. And with Giga Brilliant, if they have an Ether and 2 Ether on board, with a Giga Brilliant you can crash this to get rid of Ether. Summon this, pitch a BA from hand and draw a card, and then crash this and take a card out of the hand, and that can, like, especially with Monarch, a deck that can brick, if you're taking away so many cards from them, it's going to be really difficult for them to come back into the game. And with a Beatrice, you often have a Dante and other BA monsters in hand, so you're going to get cards back as well. So you don't really lose anything, really. And of course, I max out on Beatrice because it's the card that it's the best. I think it's the best card in the game right now, to be honest. Well, what it can achieve in this deck is like broken. I think it's a card that's definitely bannable. It gives you access. It can send any card in the deck. Gives you access to BAs. Gives you access to your Monarch. Can send you Pantheism if you need to search a spell. Can send you BAs. Can send you Monarchs. It's insane. Free Dante. Play Durandal because it can be. It's quite good if you. I never really summoned it, but you can play this if you're playing against Monarchs, and when they summon an Aether, you can shuffle it back into the deck. Play these to disrupt your opponent while you're playing. Volcasaurus and Gaia Charger to push for damage and to pierce. Grand Pulse. This deals with the floodgates. What's really good, what's really good in this deck, the BAs help you solve the problem with when you lose the Mask of Restrict or Anti-Spell Fragrance. So if you have your BA monsters, you can just like make a Grand Pulse and then just pop it, and then you can go back into your BA players. But if they have Flying Sea for your BAs, because sometimes they don't even see a single Monarch card to the side for BA, and then you can proper surprise them by just tributing over the Flying Sea and summoning a Monarch, and then at that point you've already won the game because they've sided incorrectly. Giga Brilliant. This boosts your Pilgrim. This and Pilgrim can be a blowout against Cosmo if they don't have Cosmojo, because they can't go outside of Cosmojo. They can't get over a 3/1 Pilgrim because they don't have any monsters that can attack over a 3/1. And I play one F-Zero. This just gets over any pesky problem monsters, and it helps you go for damage. Like I say, against Cosmo, if they've just left a Dark Destroyer on board, you can nick it with this and then just attack them with the game.
Gotcha.
And then the side deck. I sided Cyber Dragon and Cyber Dragon Core. We were initially siding. We thought to decide Cyber Dragon Core because you can use this to do some rank 5 plays as well. So you can just banish this and then just special a Cyber Dragon on board. So if you don't necessarily need to out any machines against Cosmo on board, you can use it for like a rank 5 play to extend your gameplay. I play one Dark Samog. This was for the card of Demise decks. You can special dog some org off an Aether because Aether says 2,400 or more and 1,000. So against card demise decks, if the con set the back row, then you just auto win. Some Cliff Fort decks as well play Into the Void first, so you just chain Aether to the Into the Void, special this, and then they can't set any back row, and then they just have to ditch it all. They're not those demise decks don't particularly play Dark Hole or Guyz as well, so you just have no fear of someone in this card. Free Maxi. Another ridiculous card in this format right now. You can side it in pretty much. I side it in when I go second against Burning Abyss, and I think Burning Abyss can really struggle against Maxi. Another reason why this deck is clearly the best deck is because it doesn't fear Maxi. If you open BA monsters and a Monarch, you can just bait out the Maxi by specialing a BA monster, and if they Maxi you, then you can either domain and then tribute summon over the 1BA, and then you take it with an Erebus and you take a card out of the hand, or you can or you can special the other BA and then tribute those guys and take an Erebus, and then they haven't gained any cards. Free Twin Twister in a full house. There's a lot of card demise here because I think the only thing this deck can lose to is Floodgates. Because like it has the edge over every other matchup because if Monarchs it has the edge because it's playing VA monsters. Against BA it has the edge because it's playing Monarch monsters. And against decks like Pendulum it beats Pendulum because it's just a better deck. Pendulum can be inconsistent and can break. I played a Pendulum deck before and it can't really cope with the amount of Beatrices that it can just play. And it beats Cosmo because Cosmo another deck that breaks and it practically kills itself, and you play a lot of stuff that can burn them for damage like a Beatrice, and it can really find it really difficult with your board. One Mischief of the Gnomes. I played this over Majesty's Fiend because I felt like being able to, because you want to go first in this deck, and since you want to go first, I felt this card was better because Majesty's Fiend can I guess you can search it off. You can use the Tenacity and search it off return. But if you summon in a Beatrice going first, which is what you're going to do anyway, and you send this against BA, and it's a blowout, they just can't deal with losing out on a turn because this engine is so fast. At this point, I've gotten so far ahead of the game because I've already summoned a Beatrice, and once more I've blow out the hand with this card as well, and they just can't. And the card just can't deal with it. And then the rest, I sided extra deck monsters, so along with the Cyber Dragons, obviously two Chimera Tech, and then I sided an Adris, because I didn't main deck the Adris because if they're maining like the Floodgates, I can see the main is like stuff like. Well, I just think there was no space because every card in this deck is more versatile than Adris, and I feel like if I get Floodgated game 1, then I'm playing a better deck, so I can beat them game 2 and 3, and I have access to all these Floodgate outers if need be. And I played one Nightmare Shark. If we're close to time, and I think it's being able to steal 2,000 damage against decks like Cliff Fort Demise and Cosmo Demise and regular Cosmo decks that burn for damage, and even just when you're going at a time against any deck in general, I think this card's really important because annoyingly I lost to this in top 16, so it just shows that this card can be really good at time.
Nice. Did you want to give any shout outs?
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to Daniel Jackson, who we both worked on the deck for a good. We were going to play it for UK Nats, but we couldn't quite get the formula right. We think we built something pretty decent today, but I think the deck can be much better. We're definitely going to be working on that for Euros. I imagine a lot of people will be working on this for US Nats as well. Shout out to my buddy Saul as well.
Hi Saul.
Hi. He helped me get free accommodation for this since this trip's really expensive.
Oh yeah.
And he's been helping me with this deck as well. He's been helping me with this deck as well. Other than that, I'm really happy with how the day went.
All right, well Darren, we appreciate you. Thank you again. Congratulations on top 16.
Thanks.
All right, and good luck at your Euros, the BCQ.
Thank you.
All right, Blair the card, guys. See you.
See you.